Video, I'm gonna talk about excuses versus failure, right? And what's the difference? So if you look at these two things, right? So you got excuses and then you got failure, right? So excuses, what comes from excuses? It's too hard, nothing gets done. I can't do it, nothing gets done. Wrong buts, meaning someone says but, and it's something that you can solve, but they just think of a reason to say but I'm not smart. I'm young. So some people think that, oh, just because I'm young, I should party and I shouldn't work hard, right? So then they get old and they look back and like, oh, I wish I worked hard when I was younger. Now I have time. That's another one. Oh, I got plenty of time to do that. You got time. You got time. You got time. So thousands of hours pass by and you haven't done anything. But you say, I have time. Okay. Now let's look at failure, right? It didn't work. And I'm gonna reference this failure to wrong buts, right? Because wrong buts is probably the biggest excuse that people make. So it didn't work. So now you fixed it. Let's talk about a business. Let's talk about $1 million business ideas, right? We're talking about $1 million business ideas. This is what people say. It's too hard. I can't do it. Wrong buts, right? But I don't make enough money. But, right? I'm not smart. But, right? So it didn't work. That's the failure. But now they fixed it. So now the problem that they fixed. So let's just say they have an advertisement problem, and they fixed the advertisement problem. Now it's worth 100,000, right? Because you took what you were worth. I mean, you took what was broken and you fixed it. You didn't say, but I don't have a budget, but you went and got a job, right? Or you found a way to make the money and you fixed it. Or, but I can't find the right guy, or, but I'm too dumb, I don't know. But money isn't everything. Like, that's another one. That's a big one. Oh, money is not everything. It's like, I like what Dan Loke when he's like, you're broke. He's like, you're broke. You're broke. That because that's what's behind all of that shit. Like, you think people don't want to take private flights? You think people want to stand in line at the airport? You think people, you know what I'm saying? You don't think people just want to pay like, oh, I'll just pay these $4 or $5 and I'll just fly private to Belize or private to somewhere. You think they don't want to do that? Yes, they do. That's wrong buts, right? But I don't want to, but money, right? So let's get rid of them, right? Because they're in the excuse column. Let's put them where they are. The excuses. We talking about the failures. The failures are okay. They still can make it. But the excuses guy, he's done. He's already done. There's no hope. Right? Look at what he complains about. It's too hard. I can't do it. Wrong buts. I'm not smart. I'm young. I have time. Or I'm too old. That's another one. But that's a good excuse, because that's why you don't say I'm young, because you're going to be old. So failure. He's successful. The failure is always more successful than the excuse maker, right? Because he has potentiality on his side, because he's just going with what don't work, what works, what's fixed, right? 20 businesses that fail. So the failure, he didn't make an excuse, but he failed 20 times, right? So he failed 20 times. So he didn't say, oh, but he said, damn, I failed. Damn, I failed again. Damn, okay, I failed because this, and then, man, he just keeps fixing that shit. He keeps fixing it. Fix. He's not saying, oh, I'm not smart. I'm young. I have time. Oh, just let me go. I'm just going to go have a drink. You're like, no, fix it. So he just keeps fixing it. Boom. So his 21st business succeeds because he's now aware of the problems. Because he didn't say, I can't do it. He said, oh, it's too hard. I have time. We'll go get a drink. Right? He just fixed that shit. Now he just went from he's in 100,000 on a million range, right? So now that he has this mentality, boom, he could just do it again because he's aware of his problems now. So now he could just do it again. He's like, oh yeah, now he's built the client. He's built the people that he needs. Like, oh, I can go to him for this. I can go to him for YouTube. I can go to him for AdWords. I can go to him for this because his failures, he knows what he needs because he failed and he went through it. And then he can just duplicate the psychology. But you can't duplicate this and succeed. Excuses can't be duplicated. Well, they can, but there's no result behind it. There's no persistence. Right? So it's too hard. I can't do it. But to do this, you gotta learn this, and I have to wham. Boom. Wrong buts, right? That's why, honestly, that's why I feel like a lot of men nowadays, they, like, honestly, I'm gonna say it. Like, they turn into girls. Like, they put on makeup and shit now. Because that shit is easy. It's easy to be like, oh, fuck that. Fuck learning and changing tires and being smart, and I'm just gonna turn to a girl and go on OnlyFans and just, because that's easy. This shit is hard. This is hard. So boom. This is excuses versus failure.